Alright, BobalosRex here, and today I'm going to explain gearing in MoP Remix. Now, a lot of this video may not pertain to you, because if you're just leveling and doing the normal content, you can just kind of slap on whatever gear and get through, level the character, spend their bronze, get an alt, do it all over again. But I'm going to explain how the gear works real quick, and some strats for powering up after level 70. Alright, so let's go over the basics. So you get tons of gear. You can break down the gear using the unraveling sands and get bronze. Easy peasy. Here, let me get back over here real quick. So we got uncommon quality gear, we got rare quality gear, and we got epic quality gear. So green quality gear just has one of the random stats, so it's going to be haste, verse, crit, mastery, which they give a little bit more, leech, speed, avoidance, all those kinds of things. So the basic idea would be you get a piece of gear with the stat you really like. Now, that's when you start getting a rare piece. Now, the thing about this gear is it's upgradable, but also rare pieces get an extra stat. Rare pieces get your main stat, whether it be strength, intellect, or agility. Alright? And then the secondary. So at that point, you want a rare item with a stat you want. But then there's another step, epic. Now what epic is it gives you main stat, and it gives you two secondaries, one being higher than the other. So in that case, ideally you get an epic piece with haste, or with two stats that you really like. The big one being the stat you most like, the second one being a stat you kind of like. So as you can see here, with boots, I got avoidance, so it's kind of meh. But with chest, I got haste and then verse. So that's kind of good. Alright? These are just a couple of pieces I got. So that's the different shades of gear. Now you may be asking, oh man, but I got a low epic and high green now. Well, the cool part is you can upgrade gear. And the extra cool part is if you have a gear piece higher item level, you can upgrade it for free. So ideally, as you're leveling up, I got these two pieces, say at level 10 or 12, right? I got lucky. Okay, I level up. Now I'm like level 30. These are old and busted. Well, what I can do is I can upgrade them with bronze, because I would have higher level pieces that I would have gotten from all the other sources. Like, there's tons of gear flowing, right? It feels Diablo-esque level. So there's tons of gear flowing. So what I would do is I would just upgrade it. So for example, I got a 360 helm. This is like the max level. I can upgrade it for a big discount. This was a big discount, but if this was a lower item level piece, below 346, that's the level 70 cutoff. Here, let me show this now. So 346 is the cap gear that you can get without upgrade, and you get that at level 70. And to get up to 346, it's pretty cheap. So like I said, I got these. Getting up to 346 was cheap. Now this is where it comes into everyone's complaining. To upgrade past level 346, that's when it starts costing a lot of bronze. Alright? You'd only ever want to upgrade gear is if you're trying to raid and do endgame content. I'm personally trying to do it solo, so this is something I'm going to have to do. I finished getting mounts. Now my bronze on this tune is going for gear upgrades. As you can see, I've been upgrading. Now, I'm going to talk about gems real quick. Okay, before we upgrade this. Actually, we'll upgrade this now. Let's finish talking about gear. So, you upgrade gear, and now I have everything at 360. Alright. So now that I have everything at 360, alright, I have unlocked the next level. I can now go to 374. Now, all of these next ranks require me to get all of my pieces to the next level. So, you can't just max level one piece of gear. Blizzard has locked you to keep having to max out your full set before you start pushing one higher than the other. Alright? Now, there are pieces that you'd want to boost more than others. That's why Blizzard has done that. And then before I talk about the boost order, I gotta talk about gems. So the way gems work is they scale with the item level of the piece they are in. I've already talked about gems and how they work. You can look at that. But that's why certain pieces of armor getting boosted beforehand, before others, is kind of relevant. Alright? So, in the ideal setting, this all depends on what your class values most. Is your meta gem doing your most damage? Are you doing your most damage, so you need more stats? Or are your tinkers doing more damage? Okay? So that's what you have to figure out. It all depends on the class. I would look at an outside source to figure out what is best for your class. But, from what I've seen, bracers are where you want to put tinkers that scale good. Because it's cheaper to upgrade bracers than, say, shoulders, belt, or gloves. Alright? So, if you're really trying to nickel and dime your bronze as you're upgrading, and tinkers are really value for you, put your scaling ones, because as you can see, certain ones scale up, and with the numbers here, like that, and then others don't. Like these two. Like these three do not scale up. Alright, Brittle, Brilliance, Quick Strike. So I put them on the piece that I'm going to upgrade later compared to another piece. And like I said, bracers are cheaper than, say, gloves. Alright, and shoulders. Now the next two pieces to upgrade, and like I said, only if you value tinkers. So my ideal order would be bracers, and then the next pieces I'm going to talk about, chest and legs. Now these get in your chest and legs. You want to put your best stat gems, your prismatic gems, especially with the stamina on them, because these pieces are upgradable. All the other prismatic slots, which would be rings, trinkets, and necklace, which you get from achievements. FYI, necklace, rings come from an achievement, and in those you just want to put your best stat gems that you can put in. But for your chest and legs, you want to put the best of the best, because these ones scale up past the trinkets and the rings and stuff at the moment. So until we start getting these upgraded, the chest and the legs are where you want to put your most valuable prismatic gems. Alright? So my ideal upgrade path would be bracers, chest, legs, because chest has my really good stats, and chest and leg upgrade at the same cost. Though I may want to consider upgrading my epic version now. And then you would want to do helm if the tinker, or if the meta gem is your best slot. As you can see, when I upgrade it, the meta gem does more damage. That's usually good, you know. Alright? So, ideal order, bracers with all my good tinkers that I want to scale up. Chest, legs, helm. Then I would get the other tinker slots that matter. So, my shoulders and my belt has one that I would kind of want. But maybe before gloves, belt, and boots, I would want to upgrade my weapon, because your weapon scales pretty big. I'm getting 300 strength, 300 stamina, and a little bit more damage. But depending on the class, a weapon is a big deal, especially if you're doing a lot of melee damage with quick strike. So at that point, you'd want to upgrade weapon before gloves, belt, and boots. And then you would upgrade the rest. You would get them all to, at this point, I now need to get them all to 374. I'm going to do it in that order I told you. Bracers, chest, legs, helm, shoulders, weapon, and then those 3. And like I said, rings that will all scale with you. But that's basically how to gear up past level 70 if you want to waste bronze gearing up versus buying transmog. And again, for your best stat, I would ask your class writers for all the websites that crunch the numbers and really know what's best for your class. But as a rule of thumb for me as a tank, verse in either crit or haste, or I mean mastery too. But the reason I like crit second is because it gives me a ton of parry as a tank. And then speed, avoidance, and real quick, armor gems are bad. Armor gems are bad. Alright? Unless something comes out, they're pretty bad. Speed will give you nice little speed. If I really, when I get these other slots, I may throw in a speed. I may even throw in an armor. But from what I've seen, armor doesn't really scale good at the moment. And that's that. Thank you for watching as always. Good luck out there. Good luck getting epics. Like the way to get epics is just random. Like you get greens most of the time, you get rares, and then every now and again you get an epic. I gotten all of mine out in the world. Some people get them from raids, some people get them from dungeons. Pretty much whatever you're doing. Alright. And that's it. Good luck. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.